Yeah, Allison, this has been an astounding feat, just logistically. I want to show you what we're talking about here. These are the packets that they're giving out to all these different families. They've got everything from fruits and vegetables to milk, chocolate milk. There was a mother that I was talking to a little bit earlier. She says that this is what her son looks forward to the most every single day, getting his little carton of chocolate milk. And to go through some of the numbers that we've seen here, we're talking 27,000 pounds of carrots. We're talking 26,000 gallons of milk. And this is something that they are doing day in, day out. As you mentioned, over 10 million meals given out so far. So let me show you how this works. People pull up here, they get their food, and I'll show you all around here. There are different stations. All of these stations are serving people, and they're able to come here. And the only question that's asked, they don't even ask if they have students. They only ask, how many bags do you need? So it's something that we've seen throughout the morning. The lines have been extremely long, and yet people keep coming. To run through some of the numbers here, LAUSD, before this pandemic happened, there were already about 80% of their students were below the poverty line. And in addition to that, just last week we learned that about 50% of people here in California have now been significantly impacted by the coronavirus pandemic, either through the loss of a job or furloughs. And last night we started hearing from the Mayor Eric Garcetti here saying that city workers may be furloughed. Those furloughs are coming, and to brace ourselves because this is going to be much worse than the 2008 financial crisis. So as you can imagine, things like this are absolute lifelines. I want to show you something else that's happening. After people come and grab their things, immediately they come through and they sanitize everything. Everybody's wearing gloves here. They're wearing masks here. Hello, how's it going?
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
¿Te puedo preguntar, ¿está ayudando? ¿Es this helping you?
Sí, sí.
¿Cómo? ¿Tienes niños en la casa? Do you have kids at home?
Sí, tengo dos hijos y dos nietas.
Dos hijos y dos nietas.
Sí.
¿Cuántos años? How old are they?
Mi hija tiene 16 años, mi hijo tiene 12.
16, 12.
Mi nieta tiene 9 y la chiquita tiene 3 y medio.
Are you working right now? ¿Estás trabajando ahorita? No hay trabajo. ¿Qué pasó? What happened?
No, yo regularmente trabajo los fines de semana para ayudar pues un poco a mi esposo, pero limpio casas.
She says she cleans houses, pero ahorita no hay trabajo.
Ahorita no hay porque también está la gente descansando.
She says that right now there's no work. So, ¿cómo están haciendo para pagar la renta? How are you guys going to pay the rent?
Pues a veces nos estamos atrasando un poco.
She says that they're getting behind in their bills.
Sí.
Y so esto sí te está ayudando.
Sí,
This is helping you.
bastante. Y también a veces sí quisiera como saber más dónde hay más lugares para
She says that
comida.
she says that it's not just food. They need a lot more than food. So she's looking for other places. Bueno, señora, mil gracias por hablar con nosotros.
Pues
Thank you so much for talking.
Por todo lo que Muchas
Que Dios
gracias.
nos bendiga.
Sí, igualmente.
So that's just one of the stories that we're hearing. A family that has lost their jobs and lost out on work, and they don't know when they are going to be able to work again. A lot of families say they are not even thinking about the rent at this point. What they are concerned about is putting food on the table. And this here at the LA Unified School District is food on the table. Their classes may be closed, but this is something that a generation is going to remember. Not going to school to learn necessarily, but going to school here to get food to eat.